then we're going to take a, okay, great. Then if we had a few more people, I'd go into breakout groups, but we're not going to do that today. But what I want you, after Barack's speech, I want everyone to do this. I want you to think about 4 things, and then I'll call for volunteers. Not everybody has to give their input, but I want you to, 1, come up with a good opening for the evaluation. And by that, I mean not good evening, Mr. Speaker, or anything like that. I want an opening that ties to Barack's speech. Second, I want you to think about 1 or 2 things that Barack did very well in his speech. Third, kind of the hard one, is come up with 1 or 2 things that Barack could improve on in his speech. And then finally, the 4th thing I want you to think about is how would you wrap the evaluation up? And by that, I don't want you to do the typical, this was a wonderful speech and I can't wait for your next speech kind of thing. I want a conclusion, just like you would do a conclusion to a speech. So are there any questions on that? I know it sounds like a lot, but if you think about it, it's kind of the outline that we did when I gave my evaluation seminar. So then actually what I will do then is I will introduce Barack. And then, like I said, when we're done, we'll probably take just, 3 or 4 minutes to gather our thoughts. And then we'll go through the 4 things I've asked you to do. Okay. With that, Toastmasters, I'd like to introduce our test speaker this evening, Barack Malkosh. Barack lives in Colorado with his wife and is a private consultant. And tonight he's going to be giving you a test speech called The Energy Diet. Mr. Barack Malkosh.
Sweetheart, are you ready to drive? Yes, insurance company approved our trip to the emergency room. No, my stomach pain is not going down. Fellow Toastmasters, 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. Then came 3 surgeries and 8 long weeks of post-op chemotherapy. The operating surgeon, Dr. James, I became very close friends, told me, Barack, your recovery went very well. Go on with your life. Dr. James, I have stomach discomfort and my energy level is 70% what it was before. Would you please advise me how I can go on with my life? Well, Barack, you need to learn the science of digestion. Dr. James, I'm the chef of my family. I cook various cuisines. My kids love my cooking. Barack, I'm glad you cook. To increase your energy, get rid of the discomfort, you need to learn biochemistry. And I'm not talking about commercial energy drinks to give a short-term boost. My initial reaction to Dr. James was defensive. But at the same time, I was willing and open to listen. Dr. James went on to explain to me 3 principles of science of digestion. Increase your micronutrients, minerals, vitamins, natural fibers. Stay away from gluten. It's a sticky substance that inhibits the absorption of nutrients into your bloodstream. Manage your blood glucose. The normal range is between 80 and 100. It can go to 120. But beside that, it's called a spike. When you have too many spikes in your life, the side effects are loss of energy and weight gain. It's called type 2 diabetes. I was totally overwhelmed. I was thinking how I'm going to be applying all this science. Dr. James, a very experienced and wise physician, tapped me on the shoulder. Barack, I'll give you a couple of tips so that you can implement the science. Start your day with a smoothie fortified by protein and fibers. Never ever put any carbs into your empty stomach. 8 to 10 almonds, 1 to 2 sticks of celery sticks, 1 boiled egg. Start your meals with vegetables to initiate a slow digestion. Then comes your proteins and fats. Dr. James finished the conversation by telling me, apply the diet and call me in 3 months. Dr. James, I'm calling to report that I like the diet, but I cannot stick to it every day. There's challenges and obstacles. What? Okay. I need to create a habit. Okay. I need to journal my meals. Okay. I need to give myself pat on the back, kudos, when I do well. Okay. And I need to work through the issues as I move along. The advice Dr. James gave me worked very well. My stage 3 cancer did not come back. My energy level is 150%. My weight is normal. I invite you to learn the science of diet and digestion. Implement the process, but more importantly, create a habit. This is what I learned through my healthcare scare and experience. It was the silver lining of my life. Next time, when you face a challenge, please consider turn the tables around and ask yourself, what is my silver lining? Madam Toastmaster.
Congratulations, congratulations. Bravo. I want to invite Jim Fritts, please. Big applause to Burak Malkoç and Jim Fritts. Over to you, Jim.
Okay, so again, what we're going to do is we're going to take about, let's say, Meltem, if you give me a green light at 4 minutes. And I want you to, again, think about an opening for the speech, things that Barack did very well, things that he can work on, and then a conclusion to the speech. And then I will take volunteers to offer their suggestions for these 4 things. So Meltem, again, 4 minutes, give me a green screen. Thank you. Okay, we've reached our 4-minute mark. Remember, we're going to work on an opening line to the evaluation, pluses, things to improve on, and then a conclusion to wrap it up. And the reason I want you doing this is because I want you to remember that an evaluation is like a short speech, and that's how we want to present it. And again, we want to stay away from the cliches, the good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and the conclusion, I can't wait for your next speech kind of stuff. So, would anyone like to volunteer an opening line for Barack's evaluation?
It
Come on,
was
I
really
want
good opening.
Maura?
Mara.
Yes, I would like to open the speech saying your speech was exquisite. It was out of this world. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? A second opening, maybe?
It was wonderful.
Leif?
And
I
he
could say
started
something
to
simple
learn.
like, wow, what an inspiring speech you gave, Brock. It really
Okay.
lifted my spirits, something like that.
Okay. I like that. I thought I saw someone else raise their hand. Aram, did you have something? Here's just a thought I'll throw out. Now, the title of his speech was The Energy Diet. How about Brock? Your speech, The Energy Diet, gave me energy. Something like that.
So I would
Aram?
like to comment,
Yeah.
Jim, the opening that you stated connects to the speech, but
Right.
also is brilliant. So the opening of any conversation, the purpose is to draw attention of the listener. So the opening is so valuable, so critical, so that people can listen to the rest of what we're going to be saying.
Anyone else want to jump in on an opening for Barack's evaluation?
Line, yes, practice. This is a great opportunity to practice whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are no wrong answers here. Okay, very good. Let's move on to uh, some things you felt Barack did very well in his speech. If one, two, or even three things perhaps that you thought, and again, just give us one thing, and then we'll let someone else give something else. Volunteers? Fatima?
Yes, hi Jim. What I liked about Brock's speech, body language. He used very good of example of body language and also the vocal variety. I really enjoyed to watch the speech. Thank you, Brock.
Okay, great. Anyone else on something positive they felt Barack did in his speech? Elif?
Um, I observed that you were very comfortable in using the space you moved around, and you voiced other people in a very effective way that I could even see your wife and your doctor in the room with you.
Excellent. Very good. Erum, you jumped in again there. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Maybe not, but Jim, I would like to add to Elif's comment. The speech is vocal, but the purpose of the speaking is actually creating the visuals, right? Through the sounds and actions, so that the audience can actually visualize
Okay.
and find themselves in the story.
Very good. Okay, here comes the tough one. Who's got an idea for Barack that would they feel? Again, remember, evaluations are subjective. So this is what you felt. Do you have something that you feel might make Barack's speech better?
Yeah.
Anyone? Elif?
One thing I noticed and you can improve is you can look at the camera more often. Maybe it was because of the nature of your speech, because you were just bringing other people in the room with us to explain the situation. That might be the reason for it. But then again, it was an excellent speech. Thank you very much.
Okay. Very good. Very good. That's a note I had made to myself also. Maura?
Thank you for the opportunity. I think that for me, if you are going to a next level, like a competition, I love the way that you have your clothes dark and your background, but my recommendation to you is what I do. I have 3 paintings here, okay? But when I am giving speeches at division contest or a district and it's online, I will suggest to remove what you have the picture because we're a little distracted. When I saw the picture, I said, oh, maybe it's mistake. So also I see a little certificate. So if you can remove it, will be a beautiful contrast because your wall is beautiful contrast with your clothes. It's like me, jocular is dark and I am using this color. So you have time, sometimes you will be killed by whoever you meet, you remove, but removing it makes big difference. Otherwise, you cannot remove it. I will not recommend background, but I think that it makes huge difference. Like I can show you now the difference, because it's not just not talking, but look the difference that makes. You see the contrast, the clothes with the background, and if you have something on the backgrounds, pictures, certificates, anything, remove it. And I have another one, but I will leave to them. I have two.
Okay.
So naughty, but anyway.
Okay. Anyone else have something they felt would enhance Barack's speech? jump in? No? Okay. Um, Interestingly, what has been thrown out there are notes that I had. Again, looking at the camera, the only one thing, Barack, I wanted to add was when you weren't doing Brock's gestures going to the side were intentional because he wanted to differentiate between him speaking and the doctor speaking. But when you weren't doing that, you were doing a little bit of this. And you want to make sure that when you're not doing the particular gesture that you're boom and you're looking at the camera. And then now I'm familiar with this speech of Barack's because I've heard it a couple times. And just so you know, he is going to use it in a speech contest this Tuesday. You left out the line about, and the doctor was going to call it the energy diet before you said, and I'm not talking about the energy drink. So make sure you work that back in. Okay, let's move on to how. Oh, Maura, you had another comment.
Yes, I think that if he's going to a contest, I would like just to suggest, because when he was speaking, his hand gestures were amazing, but I noticed that sometimes he go with no reason in the middle and put his hands like that. So that's not good. So this was my second one, but also I agree with you with the comment that when you are talking, you have different characters, there are different movements. But I think that to me, I marked it 5 times when you were using beautiful. And then, I don't know, people love to put the hands in the middle like that. So try to remember.
That's a great point because I think a lot of people do that. Okay, so let's move on. Give me a conclusion to this evaluation. How would you wrap this up? And this is what you felt. Evaluations are subjective. Elif, you have an idea for us.
Yes. Overall, it was an excellent speech. I enjoyed every moment of it. I'm looking forward to hear your next speech, and I'm definitely gonna find my silver lining. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Fatima, did you have an idea for us? I see you've popped up. Yeah, okay. I like the conclusion, but again, I want to leave out. Oh, Maura, jump in, please.
Oh, I don't like to talk too much, but anyway, no, I just want to say that as a conclusion, we can say that his speech was a combination of his personal story, which is very touching, and also educational, because there will be people who have the same
Right.
disease that he has, but he put us together. So we said, in conclusion, your speech was so touching, and because you give me, not only educating me, but
Right.
also you bring me to your life. Like putting the
Yes.
both.
Yes. And that kind of goes back to a comment in Barack's speech that when he brought up the concept that this leads to diabetes, how many of you went, oh, wow? Yeah. Yeah, that's a powerful thing. Now, I like the idea of the silver lining that Brock talked about. But again, I want to get away from I loved your speech. I can't wait for the next one. I have a joke about this in evaluation contests. I had a woman who came out and did that, and actually her opening was, "Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests," which is the opening of an evaluation that I despise. And then she screamed, "Where are you?" And this was at a district contest. And then she wrapped it up with "I can't wait for your next speech" kind of thing. So again, the silver lining concept of that was fantastic. I'm going to look for my silver lining. Boom, that's powerful in an evaluation. So, okay, hey, we had some very good ideas this evening. And I hope you're getting an idea of that we're going to put this together as a mini speech. And then that's how we want to present it. Because I want you to think about something. Where else you use your evaluations skills. If your boss asks you for feedback, that's an evaluation. But you would never start the speech by, well, Mr. Smith, that's a wonderful concept. You would kind of you'd be a little bit more creative with that, saying, I like how you're thinking, and here's what I would like to add. Something like that. Again, so you're going to use your evaluation skills in other aspects of life. And as I tell people, I don't want you to be a good Toastmaster evaluator. Yeah, I do. But I want you to be a good evaluator in the real world.
Life.
With that, Barack, you're back to you as our general evaluator.
Excellent, Jim. Thank you. That's the greatest point, the last one. And I want to add 2 points to even for advance it. So the feedback, so many people ask our feedback in personal life, in professional life, everyday life. And for anybody to remember, what we tell them is a simple structure: the opening, the content, and the closure. That's why evaluation Jim has developed, is well beyond just analyzing a speech and giving feedback on delivery, structure, etc. But how do you structure so that other people can remember your evaluation? In my speech, there's the inspirational part, there's the story, etc. But also, my key point is that whatever we do in life, if we understand the science, if we learn a process, but more importantly, we need to create a habit. So that was the key part. Of course, we learn these things through challenges of life. That's the silver lining. With this, we're going to start. Jim, are you going to say something?
No, go ahead.
With this, we're going to start the evaluation